So, we started off today playing a little bit of Rocket League, and we got bodied because we played with people that are better than us. So, now we're going to transition into Magic, and we're going to play something that I'm going to be honest is kind of a mix of like a lot of different standard decks that I played. Um, this is a combination of Desert Red and the mono red deck that followed Desert Red. It's very interesting, and I really like the concept of the deck, and I really like what it's doing. I just looking at the deck, it's basically all four ofs, except for the two Chandras, two Hazarets, two Rekindling Phoenixes. I didn't really know like what else to put in the deck at the top end. Because the first version of the deck, like the first, Desert Red played four Hazarets at the top end, and that was it. And then we had a version of the deck that played like Hazaret and it played Chandra. And then we had a version of the deck that played like Chandra and Rekindling Phoenix. And then we had a version of the deck that just played Rekindling Phoenix. So it was kind of all over the place. I feel like there might be a better two drop than Kari Zev, but if there is, I don't know what it is. So we're going to play Kari Zev tonight. And the sideboard is really just made up of a lot of cards that I like. Soul Guide Lantern is a great magic card, great way to interact with the graveyard or draw some cards if you need to. Magma Spray, Red Cat Melee, great one mana removal spells. They really interact with a lot of the format and do a lot of the things that we need them to. A Braid is also a great removal spell, helps us deal with artifacts too. Collective Defiance is really good at dealing with Kalitas and going upstairs, or it can help us will our hand in a bad spot. Two more Rekindling Phoenixes and two Glorybringers in the sideboard really help us A, finish off the top of the curve, and they really help us grind and run into the late game. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pretty big fan of the way the deck looks. I'm hoping that I don't have a terrible showing, but it looks really good. So we're gonna start. Is tonight a new Pioneer League? Oh yeah, there's only one trophy so far. Yeah. So hopefully we can get a little trophy action tonight and get up on the board. Ugh, I doubt it, but it's very rare that I actually 5-0 a league or like trophy and actually do something like that. Wow, we already found a match. I was just gonna last thing I was gonna say is that I really like the interaction of Sunscorched Desert and Ramunap Ruins. I feel like Ramunap Ruins is like a great land and it provides a lot of utility. And I feel like something that I really missed from Standard was that Sunscorched Desert actually provided more damage than you thought it would. Like that 1 point here or there randomly actually helps a lot. Like it changes a lot of the counting and a lot of the what you need to do to really get there. Wow, okay. So we didn't find a match. Thought we were going to find a match. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Bone Crusher Giant is a great add to this deck because it's removal on 2 and it's a 4/3 that you have to take damage to deal with basically. So, it's just a great card. And Soulscar Mage is obviously awesome. I really like to play Soulscar Mage and Goblin Chainwhirler together, but you can't really play Goblin Chainwhirler with Certain Scorched Desert. Baby, we turn the fan on? Thank you. All right, we're on the play. Hi and good luck to our opponent. HCHAK. This hand's great. We're gonna keep this. We're gonna lead on Mountain Bomat Courier. They'll probably think we're on Burn or something like that. Earthshaker Kynra is really good in a lot of really just good in creature matchups, and non-creature matchups is great because it's a 2/1 with haste. I like your Moto name. That's nice. Our opponent mulligans to 6. Hopefully Bomat Courier doesn't do it to us. I mean, Bomat Courier does have the tendency sometimes to either make or break your draw, so it's kind of, I don't know, we'll kind of see what happens here. But Earthshaker Kynra is great in a lot of matchups. Because it blocks really well. It doesn't block really well. It stops things from blocking, which is awesome. Oh, and it's also great because it comes back. Sunscorched Desert U. So there's an extra point. We're going to play Earthshaker Kynra. We're going to make it to where the Bomat Courier can't block. which I always think is funny. My friend Anthony is on the basketball team there. Spike field hazard. Oh no. That's bad. Anyway, Anthony. Anthony. I don't recognize that name from the lineup at Carolina, but play Steam Vents tapped. We're more than likely just going to play Ferocidon here after combat. Anthony Harris. I feel like I should recognize this name, but I don't, so we're going to attack for 1 and see what they do here. Bomat Courier is great for a multitude of reasons. A, people have to deal with it because it will refill your hand. So they get an extra card, so we get 3 cards exiled face down. And we're going to play Ferocidon. Not that Ferocidon really will do any damage here. I don't really think it'll do any damage, but it does force them to have like an actual lightning axe to deal with it. I don't know who Anthony Harris is, so I'm going to be honest, I don't really know how to respond to that comment. Like, not trying to be rude to this guy, I don't know what to say to him. So I'm interested to see Petty Theft. Run that out. Okay. Our opponent's got 3 cards in hand here, so I mean, if they had a lightning axe, I imagine they would have played it instead of petty thefting there. How was the Rocket League earlier? Rocket League was a lot of fun. Me and a couple of my Magic buddies played 3s for a while, and then we played a game of 2s. I mean, I spent the night getting dumpstered, but it was a lot of fun. Had a good time. So, what have you been up to, Ben? I haven't talked to you, and I think it's actually been a couple days. What have you been up to, man? Carly says she guesses you're reading about dead people. Yep, we take 1. This can't block. So we're gonna attack for 5 here. And then we're actually just gonna run out the Bonecrusher Giant. We're just gonna actually like play the Bonecrusher Giant. Doing my Rocket League placements, reading about dead people. Hey, Carly was 50% right. Good call. I haven't finished placing in. I think I've played like 4 or 5 like 1s matches, and now I've played like 6 3s matches, I think. So, where do you think you're gonna place in at? You're gonna place in at GC? Ben's like, yeah, get that flex on. Discard Steam Vents, okay. The bad news is that Earthshaker Kenra won't actually provide any support next turn, so they can block freely, basically. Lightning Axe, discard Spiral Bluff Canal. I placed Champ 1 in Rumble. Haven't placed yet in Dumbles. I mean, Champ's better than I ever placed, man. So plays land and attacks for 4. That's interesting. Man, Moto is like severely lagging right now, and I really don't understand why here. I'm going to attack here and see what they do. You could be a Champ 1 in Rumble. Nanny could be a Diamond in Rumble. Oh, I don't think that's necessarily true. While I do appreciate that, the optimism behind me trying to get there, I don't think that's true. So our opponent has no cards in hand. Normally I would say let's sack a land here, but we'd have to draw another land to make our to be able to make our Earthshaker Kenra any good, so I don't think it's work. It's literally true. Hey man, I'll take your word for it. I mean, you know more about Rocket League than I do. I just like to play for fun. I mean, I say I like to play for fun, but when I lose, I get super angry. So, well, that sucks. Yep, we go to 8. Anger of the Gods was a pretty good draw step for our boy there. That was a pretty good draw step for us. So we get to play Chandra, we get to minus, we get to kill that so we're not in like any immediate danger. And then next turn, we can have a pretty solid turn next turn actually with the Chandra and everything in play. So they have to draw a Wild Slash here or Spikefield Hazard to actually be able to. Do they draw another Crackling Drake? Oh, Arclight Phoenix. Okay, I guess Arclight Phoenix actually works too. Question is, do you go upstairs or do you kill this? Ooh, attack me. Ooh, I love it. God, I wish I wasn't lagging so hard. We're gonna plus to exile here. So I actually think Soulscar Mage is worth 2 points here. Eternalize. Get to target this. So actually, if we had drawn a Ramunap Ruins for the turn there instead of a, or not a Ramunap Ruins, a Sunscorched Desert for the turn there instead of a mountain, we actually would have won that turn. Oh, Lord. That would have been sweet. Oh, I just realized I didn't do that when I posted that. And bad. I didn't, like, retweet my, Our opponent just did that during his draw step and then concede to us? That's interesting. I didn't retweet my tweet about me playing Magic. No, I can't. I mean, am I like sure on that? No, but I don't think I can. Okay, cards that seem good here include Collective Defiance, Rekindling Phoenix, and Glorybringer. Yes, all of these cards do seem good. So we're going to cut Hazoret. I don't feel like we want Hazoret. And honestly, I feel like we can just cut Rampaging Ferocidon. I don't feel like, well, do we? I mean, Ferocidon's just like randomly good. Cut a couple Wild Slashes because I don't really see them doing anything, and a couple Ferocidons, and we'll try it that way. This hand seems fine. I think we just lose to a thing in the ice, but I think we're going to keep this. What is that? Why is that yellow? Your device needs to restart to install updates. Well, I'll have to do that later. Fabled Passage in the old Blue-Red Phoenix deck. That's interesting. Bomat Carrier is a good pickup. Allows us to put the pressure on early here. Lord, I'm tired. Our opponent says go. We're going to attack for 1 here, and then we're going to play Karizev. Wild Slash this? Sure. You get an extra card. Play Karizev, say go. You could play Robber of the Rich in that spot. Ooh, Lightning Axe? Okay, alright. Our opponent's making things happen here. Back-to-back removal spells is pretty good. I mean, our curve's been pretty good. We played Bomat Courier into Karizev. And now we have... Ooh, our opponent goes to 17. Young Pyromancer. Okay, it's good we have Stomp for that. We'll probably play the Stomp here. Like, them having Spell Pierce is kind of a blowout, but I think it's better than us trying to play around something else. So I think we're just going to go ahead and go for it here. Okay, so they don't have anything to play there. That was interesting. A whole box of Fancy Cakes. Let me see it. Chat, I have the best girlfriend in the whole world. I asked for a Fancy Cake, and she brought me the entire box. Thank you, baby. I do really appreciate it. What happened? Our opponent drew a card and said go. Joke's on you. Shlamalama ding dong. We have Rekindling Phoenix. Which is good because it requires 2 spells if they're going to deal with it. That or they have to have a hard counter right here. And I don't know if they play hard counters. Ether Gust? Yeah, we're putting that shit on top. Because I don't think you can beat that card. So we're gonna put that on top. And I think they only play like 1 or 2 Ether Gusts, so feels good. Not gonna lie, it's been a minute since I played like one of these like curving red decks that like curves out and like really like makes like instead of just like trying to run you over very quickly. I mean, I still just think we're playing this thing. Saying go, like, if they're going to kill it, they have to have 2 spells. Magma Spray doesn't do it by itself. Okay. And that's fine, because, I mean, they have to have a removal spell for the token here. Like, and Wild Slash, okay. That leaves them with 2 cards in hand, which is good for us. I mean, they're going to draw a second card here is what I meant. So, I mean, this feels like... You have a dog? Dude, that's so cool. No, there's never been a dog. I would have noticed that a long time ago. Oh, Treasure Cruise to start their turn is not good. That's so cool. I was like, my God, that dog is huge. Dude, that dog would fuck shit up. Wow. Ow. I think we're going to go ahead and run out Chandra because we can Chandra plus into the Bone Crusher Giant. And this might be wrong. They might just be holding like an Izzet Charm here or something. Ether Gust. We're going to put that on top again because Chandra deals with any threat they play here. So I'm honestly amazed they didn't draw a land with their treasure cruise. They should also have more cards in their hand. Okay, they're very quickly playing that, which leads me to believe that they have a bunch of spells they can't cast in their hand. Wow, our opponent still didn't find a land? This is wild, bro. If I was my opponent, I'd be kicking and screaming right now. Maybe literally. Whoa. Carly said, "We know," very quickly. Brag on her for 2 seconds, and all of a sudden it's like open season on me. Wow. My God. Get some help over here. I've been shot. God. You're relentless. Crackling Drake. Okay. I mean, Crackling Drake is fine. Like, we're just going to kill it. Yeah, I know he's waiting for me to respond. No, you're fine. I was just... So we're gonna play Ferocidon here and say go, and then this way we have Stomp at backup. We have Stomp for backup if they do bring a bird back. We can actually kill one of the birds this way. Because I mean, I know they only have 3 cards in their hand after they draw, but we're getting like this late in the game is a very good possibility that they can actually just bring back their birds. Treasure Cruise is also a really good way to start. I'm hoping that since they've been bricking on lands all game that they're going to keep hitting lands. Magma Spray, okay. 4 cards in hand. Spikefield Hazard, okay. 3 cards in hand. 2 cards in hand. They're going to bring their birds back. Hopefully they get greedy and just attack 1 at Chandra. That would be awesome. I doubt they will. They'll probably make the smart play and send them both at Chandra like that. Yeah. We'll wait and see if they do anything after combat. I doubt they will, but since there's no way for us to save Chandra, we're just going to let this happen. We are going to stomp 1. I mean, they have 2 cards in their hand, so like the odds of them being able to bring them back a whole bunch of times is not super likely. I was like a lands Dees because it allows us to play both of our spells. Are you just like torching me? Like, did I do something to you? Did I miss something? Huh? You are funny. Even if it comes at my expense, you are funny. So now we have no cards in hand, which means I hope that they don't have like anger here or something like that. That would be pretty rough. They might have just been sandbagging and anger this whole game. Like, it's hard to tell. Well, we get to attack for 7 here, and they're going to throw their Phoenix in front of our Giant, which is fine. Like, I'm not a super huge fan of it because, you know, we're losing our Bonecrusher Giant, but they don't have a removal spell here. Our Ferocidon puts them to 11. Okay. And then we get to run out our Karizev. We don't have enough mana to activate Ramunap Ruin, sadly, but What are you screaming yeah about over there? Really? That's awesome. For anybody who's wondering, Carly just got the crossbow. Which means if you're playing Cold War, look the fuck out. So, I mean, I feel like I might as well just like run out my spells here. Like, we have 4 points on the field too, like if we ever need it. So, I mean, it's not like it's a huge ordeal. We go to 18 off the trigger. If we get to attack with our Karizev, we'll go to 17 because of the monkey token. I can't tell if we're lagging or our opponent's taking a long time. Might be column A, column B, honestly. Magma Spray the Kenra. Okay, that sucks, but it is what it is. We'd like to be able to get that back, so... I mean, if they don't have anything else, they're taking 6. Yeah, go to 5. Okay, so that's pretty good. We're at 5. They're at 5. We have 6 on the field, and we have 4 points on the... Our creatures represent 6 points, and our lands represent 4 extra points, so... Uh-oh. Our opponent's making stuff happen. Uh-oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Bulmac Courier is a fantastic draw here. Collective Defiance is a really good draw step here. Deal 4 to creature, deal 3 to an opponent. Boom shakalaka. Creature, opponent, red, red. Pay 4. Love Collective Defiance. Every time I see that card, I think about the time that guy punted against PV at the Pro Tour. That was like one of the craziest moments I think I've ever witnessed of like Magic live. He drew the win to the game that was literally going to put him in the finals of the Pro Tour, and I think he would have won. Oh, excuse me. GG's. Good luck with the new coach. Obviously, this guy's a Carolina basketball, or maybe he's not a Carolina fan, but he knows college basketball. Of course, to be fair, if you keep up with college sports in any way, you. Not sure if my friend will stay or not. Check him out. I don't know who Anthony Harris is. I feel like I probably should. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really kept up with with Carolina basketball recently. Like, they have this thing where they only hire alumni, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, honestly. Yep, high good luck opponent. We're gonna keep this hand. This hand's good. We need to get a little bit lucky with our lands here, but we need to draw some lands. But we're on the play. Our opponent has no companion. Do we have Izzet Pathways and Brazen Borrowers? Oh, do you, not do we. I was like, yeah, those exist, man. I have one blue-red pathway, and I don't have Brazen Borrowers. I had one, but I sold it to Brandon like when they were like $40. So, why? What are you putting together that has pathways and Brazen Borrowers? Ooh, shock. Is this the same? Is this the same matchup? Am I playing against the same thing? That's what it feels like. He's the only one I got. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da. Alright, we're going to play our Karizev here. We need to hit a land. Hitting lands is important to stay in the game. Like, not that, like, Lightning Strike's not, like... I mean, Lightning Strike's a good draw, because if this is the same deck, and they have Thing in the Ice here, and they block... Now that... Okay, so now if they block the token, we can stomp their Thing in the Ice, which is pretty good for us. Another Spikefield Hazard. Interesting. This feels like a Lightning Axe here. A land, please. Not drawing a land and drawing a 4-drop is bad news. Hopefully there's not a removal spell here. Even though I imagine there will be. Oh, there's not. Interesting. I've been wanting to play Phoenix since 3TF got banned. Just don't want to buy those things. Are the pathways expensive? I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't care to buy the pathways just to have them. I think I want a play set of all the pathways. Of course, I guess if I'm gonna go down that route, I want a play set of all the fetch lands and all the shock lands too. But and plus the list that I played was only playing one Brazen Borrow, or maybe they're playing more now. Land, please. All right, this is real bad. We're not a burn deck. Granted, we do have 5 points in our hand, but we really need to hit land so that. I mean, they're like 6 or 7 a piece, I think, plus 2 or 3 borrowers. My God, are they really $6 or $7 a piece? Chart a course, okay. I played a 4th land, so I have to have 2 1-mana spells here. So I think I'm just going to hold my spells here. I don't see a point in playing them. I mean, we're just going to run our stuff out here. Like, it's pretty much all we can do. There's nothing to Lightning Strike, and if they get a bird back, we can just kill it later. So I'm not super worried about it, but... Yeah, target itself. Ooh, what's this? Sure. And that's our opponent's at 12. Like the damage output from here doesn't have to be insane. Like we literally just need to hit land. All right. So now we really hope we draw land because we can play Lightning Strike Wild Slash. Hoping we were. Man, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's us lagging or if Moto's lagging right now. It feels like Moto's just lagging because our opponents aren't getting like super far ahead of us. Like when it's us lagging, like you can generally tell because our opponents are like very far ahead of us, and they're just not right now. So I don't know. When did they start playing Fabled Passage in this deck? I must have really missed something over like the last puts a card on top. That's not good. Throw possibility, discard Phoenix. Yeah, we're about to take a hit. Ooh, are we cruising for a bruising right here? Yeah, Treasure Cruise game's probably over here. With 6 cards in their hand, like, it's going to be tough to... Some list 7-0'd and took first in some tournament. Okay, cool. I mean, I'd be down to play something like that. Like, ooh. I mean, like, the Izzet Phoenix deck was really cool the other night. I think I went, like, 3-2 with it or something like that. Like, deck's really sweet. So we go to 13 here. We really need to hit a land so that we can play Rekindling Phoenix. I think us hitting lands here for like too many turns has just killed us. Or not hitting lands, I mean. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I think that's... Yeah, that's just going to kill us because we can't actually get back into it from there. We're just too far behind. So again, we want Glorybringer, Rekindling Phoenix, Collective Defiance. I don't think we brought in Soul Guide Lanterns, but... And then Hazards don't do anything. Let's try it like that. See what happens. Probably better to leave in 2 Ferocidons and cut a Wild Slash there, but I think I'd rather have it. I think I'd like to have like that weird split there. I think we can get a better hand here. I think I would classify this as a better hand. We'll keep this and put the Lightning Strike on the bottom here. That way we're representing pressure this way, so... Looks like our opponent can't decide if they're going to mulligan or not. So we're just going to go ahead and play the Soul Guide Lantern. We don't get to exile anything, but I mean, like, it's just good to have it down. We actually, when we were playing Gruul, no, we weren't. It wasn't when we were playing Gruul. We were playing Burn last night, and we actually made the mistake of going up, of just sacking the Soul Guide Lantern to try and turn off, Treasure Cruise to try and stop them from getting back in the game, and then they ended up dumping 2 Phoenixes to kill us. It was actually like pretty crazy. I mean, like, I guess they'd been playing around it. I just still feel like the way that the game went, like, it was right to try and take them off Treasure Cruise. Strategic planning, okay. It's not a bad draw step. Doesn't matter what you target. Play Bomat Courier. I mean, hopefully they don't have Anger of the Gods here. It's kind of like our play this turn, is to hope they don't have Anger. I'm pretty sure they only play like 1 or 2, so I mean, it's not like super likely that they have it, but possible nonetheless. Yeah, let's see. We don't want to auto yield through the turn because we need to be able to sack Soul Guide Lantern if we need to. Alright, so they don't have Anger, which is a good place to start. Lightning Axe, okay. Another removal spell. Wild Slash, sure. Probably smart they did it then. I was definitely going to use that the following turn, like this turn, to our advantage. So I think it's just better to have the threat here than it is to hold up the damage. And we can put our opponent to 10. We don't have a Ramunap Ruins to turn our Sunscorched Deserts into more points, but I feel like we have a very good hand. Or not a very good hand, but I feel like we're I feel like we're in a decent position. Our opponent's at 10. And they have a lot more cards in their hand than we do, but wow. Okay. They must have drawn Anger of the Gods. Alright, well, we need to draw some cards. We need to make something happen here. They had answers to our Bomat Courier the turn before we were going to do stuff with it, and they had Anger of the Gods. A turn too late, which was weird. I was like, the Bird would be great. It's like Chandra would be great. Glorybringer would be great. There's a lot of really good draw steps there. It's unfortunate that we don't have one. Yeah, we're just going to 6 here. Might as well play it and just say go here. And they probably have a removal spell, but yep. Opponent opts during their turn, puts one card on the bottom. Thrill, okay. We're at 17. I mean, if we were going to draw a land, Ramunap Ruins was the least bad. So there's that. Quicken? Alright. I'm interested to know that our opponent's playing Quicken. Don't really understand that one. Puts one card on the bottom. Crackling Drake is not good. We have to draw an answer for that one almost immediately, or we're just going to lose to it. Collective Defiance would be a good draw step for that. Oh, actually, yeah, we're just dead here. Oh, well. Well, we're on the draw for game 3 here. We're 1-1 with Desert, E, Bird, Chandra, Ferocidon, Red. Yeah, I don't really know. We're probably just going to call this Desert Red, honestly. Deck's sweet, though. Big fan. I feel like I've played against this person before. Oh, the old no-lander, huh? Against Yorion? I hate you, opponent. Yeah, our Yorion opponents never mulligan. Why would they? So I think we're going to keep this on 6 and put a Bonecrusher Giant back and hope this works out. Opponent's probably going to play some Triome tapped here. Ooh, Steam Vents. Land. And if we're not going to draw lands, at least drawing another 1-drop is good. And we have to draw lands, though. Like, if we don't draw lands, we will lose. Ooh. Birth of Melitus, yep. Okay. Search your deck for a plains. For a basic plains. Deal you one. It'd be nice to have a Bomat courier here to go with that. So next turn, we're gonna put our opponent to 16 here, and then next turn, we can actually play Earthshaker Kynra so that the wall can't block and get in for 4. Got that plains, okay. Plays Castle Ventress, interesting. Chain to the Rocks, yeah, of course. I swear to God, every time I play against this deck, that's all our opponent ever draws. Is Chain to the Rocks, Supreme Verdict, and Birth of Melitus. All cards that are great. Like, they never draw like these cards where they're just like awkwardly forced to play Omen of the Sea over and over again. Like, they always draw these like hands that are like insane. Get to attack for 3 and put our opponent to 13 here, which isn't bad. It's a pretty decent turn. If we draw a land, we can hold. If we draw a red land, I do have to specify that. We can play Omen of the Sea on curve here, where we'll be able to play Soulscar Mage and either Bonecrusher Giant or Lightning Strike, whichever one seems more necessary, whichever one seems more fluid. Our opponent goes to 15 here. Our opponent plays the plains we know about. That is not a Supreme Verdict. Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely. Take our red source. Make me cry. I mean, if I'm my opponent, I was like, after I missed a land last turn, I'm taking my red source here. Like, it's possible that if we pill a red source here, we can kill that thing and get in. Yeah, okay. We're not... Like, 23 lands there. Like, keeping that land seems fine. Alright. Cards that we do want. Rekindling Phoenix and Glorybringer. Wild Slashes do nothing. Yeah, we're going to try it and see what happens. We might just have to, like, restart Moto. This is rough. This hand seems good. We'll keep this. No one drop, but this hand has a lot of, like... This hand has really good cards. Like this just has this is really powerful. Like, it's pretty rare that you genuinely get to look at a hand of mono, like, you get to look at mono red aggro and think, wow, this is a hand of powerful Magic cards. So normally mono red is a bunch of like derpy cards that, all right, obviously we're lagging somewhat because it's telling me in the chat that they played the Triome before I actually see it. All right. So we're going to run out our Earthshaker Kynra here. We're going to get in for 2. Opponent goes to 18. Plays Triome. Probably has Chain to the Rocks here. Oh, yeah. Every time. Never didn't have it. Now we're definitely, like, unless we draw like a Ferocidon or something, we're definitely going to run out Bone Crusher Giant here. Honestly, that's not a bad draw step. We have a lot of really powerful cards in our hand, like these cards don't care about Deafening Clarion and Supreme Verdict, so I'm pretty happy about that. Omen of the Sea during your turn. That's interesting. That leads me to believe that you're gonna, like, you're looking for a Chain to the Rocks. One card on top, one card on bottom. Maybe our opponent already had Chain to the Rocks and they're just wanting to play spells during their turn. No? Okay. So we're going to attack for 4. We're going to play Chandra, plus for mana, and then play Soulscar Mage. Play Chandra. Mana. Play Soulscar Mage. Getting to plus Chandra and to cut to ribbons during that standard was really dumb. Like, Supreme Verdict's bad here, but I really don't care about Supreme Verdict. Fires of Invention? Okay. I mean, the Clarion is, like, not great for us. Like, it does allow them to sweep our board. So we get to plus for mana and play Karizev, then we get to run out Hazoret and just get in. Like, they have to have Chain to the Rocks to beat Hazoret. I don't know of another card that actually allows them to beat Hazoret here. They have 3 cards on the field that they have to beat. Normally, my problem with this matchup is that I have to have Supreme Verdict beats all 3 of those cards on the field, but it really doesn't here. So, put Yorion into your hand? Bro, if that's your line of play, then cool. Like, I get you might as well use your 3 mana, but if that's, like, your only play this turn is to play Yorion, or, like, something else non-productive to the board, cool. So they're going to bounce Chain to the Rocks so that they can get my Hazoret, which is not bad, but if that's their only play this turn, then they are dead. I mean, to be fair, if they were going to play Supreme Verdict, they would have played it beforehand. Can they activate my Chandra the turn that it comes into, the turn that they take it? They can. That's really dumb. So they're gonna. So now we have to draw a land to be able to play our Glorybringer. Like, Agent of Treachery is so stupid. Like. So I'm just gonna get in with both here because if they want to block. If they want to block my Earthshaker Kenra and take 5 here and go to 4, that puts them in Glorybringer range. See, I'm okay with this. Like, and as good as their hand, like, and as good as their draw has been here, like, and our opponent has played. And our opponent's had a pretty typical, like, Jeskai or, like, 4-color Fires hand here. I just, doesn't change the fact that I, like, hate this deck with every fiber of my being. Cycle? Okay. I mean, the fact that they're cycling to start their turn means good things for us, I think. Cast Supreme Verdict, bro. Deal. Yeah, we're going to go to 18. We're going to move this down here so that we can still see the cards. They're going to cast Narset. Okay. So Chain to the Rocks is their best find here. Shark Typhoon is also not bad. I don't think they played a land yet. So it's possible they just play an untapped land here, and they can cycle a 1/1 blocker. Okay, so now they can't make a blocker, which means if we draw a land here, oh, that's right, they can just cast that bitch, can't they? So land off the top wins the game. I guess that also wins the game because they can't interact with us because of Fires of Invention, which means we just get to minus and attack for 5. Okay. Alright, so we ended up getting game 2 against the old Fires deck here. I still think the way we boarded is correct. We don't want Soul Guide Lantern. We don't want Magma Spray or Red Cat Melee. Abrade and Collected Defiance don't really do anything. And Wild Slash is our worst spell. So I think we just want to have as much, like, as many powerful cards as we can here. Game 3 against Fires is the real test here because we're on the draw, which is like I mean, honestly, it's a tough scene. This hand's really good, so we're going to keep this. Like, we have a curve, 1, 2, 3, and a removal spell. So okay, so back-to-back tap lands is good. I imagine he's going to get a mountain, though, and play Chain to the Rocks right here. Yeah, never didn't have it. Like, it blows my mind how well they draw the same cards with 20 more cards in their deck. Which I genuinely believe that that's funny. To me, like, that's, like, actually, like, mind-blowing to me because, like, you know, like, I started playing Magic about 6 years ago. And when I started playing Magic, like, everybody was like, playing more than 60 cards is just wrong. And, like, I remember they used to call it the 61 card, like, it was called the Jeff Hoogland Special. Wow, double Chain to the Rocks, okay? It was called the Jeff Hoogland Special to play 61 cards in your deck because he was the only person doing it, and he was playing it in Kiki Chord. Okay. Run out Ferocidon here. And our opponent gets the Omen of the Sea here. Hopefully they're forced to go bottom. One top, one bottom seems more realistic, but was kind of hoping we could get bottom there. Fires of Invention. Okay. Into Deafening Clarion. Okay. They only got 2 cards in their hand, which, don't get me wrong, like, could be a lot of things, and they have Yorion at the ready there. So we're going to run out Ferocidon. I definitely should have played Soulscar Mage first. That was just poor sequencing on my part. Cost us the point that we didn't need to cost us, so. Another Deafening Clarion? Oh, that's right. They're putting Yorion into their hand. They haven't played any spells yet. Okay, Yorion is good. They do go to 19 off that exchange, which is okay. I'm okay with that. Ooh, so they're going to give us our Soulscar Mage back to get the Ferocidon here, which is interesting. Curious to see if they... Oh, they don't have another spell to play. Wow. So Omen of the Sea... They're going to fetch with Omen of the Sea on the stack. Okay, it's interesting. I don't understand the point in getting a forest. You've got Fires of Invention on the field. I'm playing mono red. I can't deal with the enchantment. I don't know. That's weird. Puts 2 cards on the bottom. Okay. Okay. Land, please. I mean, we are quote-unquote doing it. We get to attack and exert here, and it deals damage in the... This isn't like a... Yeah, I mean, like... Now, they get to block our Glorybringer here because they should. Makes no sense for them not to. Unless they're... I mean, they might try to hold out for Transmogrify here. Luca. I don't know if they still play Luca or not. I haven't seen a Luca out of our opponent, but I'm not going to say that they don't play Luca. Okay, our opponent takes 6. They're going to Omen of the Sea during their upkeep here. Yeah, I mean, you got it, buddy. Nothing I got for you. Hazoret's a good draw step. Chandra's a good draw step. Phoenix is a good draw step. I mean, like, honestly, like, any spell is a good draw step here. Like, really. Okay. Double Deafening Clarion. All right. So they have 1 card in their hand. Really like to draw Hazoret in this spot, honestly. Bonecrusher Giant's not bad. We're just gonna stomp them and play a giant. Like, this is pretty good. They've played 3 sweepers so far, so we're hoping they don't have another one, and that they're forced to interact with this in a spell-based fashion. Not likely, but hopefully. The Raven's Warning. Okay, so we're probably going to Lightning Strike that token here, if I'm being honest. I really don't want them to draw any extra cards. Yeah, especially knowing they don't have a second spell there. We're going to attack first and give them the option to do something with it. If they want to block here, I'm okay with that. Like, just straight up, I'm okay with them blocking. I want to give them as few draw steps as possible. Okay, I was like, they're more than likely, yeah, they take that, they go to 9. We play the Sunscorched Desert. We put our opponent to 8. And then we use this to Lightning Strike this, and then we're going to 6. That way they only get a look at 1 card here. Darren, come here. Come here, sweet kitties. Those my sweet kitties, huh? Those my sweet kitties. Oh, Narset is a really good draw step here. Fucking A. Really? Third Chain to the Rocks and 19 cards? Alright, man. Like, not really sure, like, what to say about that. I'm hoping that we, like, rip a Hazoret. I feel like one good draw step deserves another. Lightning Strike's fine. Like, it's not terrible. It's not great. They get to put a card on top of their library. Me and one of my buddies, me and Joseph were talking about this on lunch today. Like how stupid that is. Like you can't interact with that in any way. Like there's never a point in the game where I can thought seize that from you. There's never a point in the game where I can like interact with that card in any way. You get a chance to put that card on top of your library, and unless I can make you shuffle or do something else, you just have it. Nahiri? Maybe Nahiri's what they put on top? Like, so the only thing that would be bad here if we didn't play our Lightning Strike would be Glorybringer, and I think bad is relative. So yeah, we're just gonna take to our turn. Hazoret would be the draw. Mountain's not great. We're gonna hold Mountain. We need to draw action here. We're 16 cards in, and that's our 7th. I mean, 16. Yeah, I mean, it's a few more lands than we should have drawn. Jesus, dude. Like, just draw a land, man. Like, you've drawn, like, there's 28 or, like, 30 lands in your deck. Like, just draw a land like the rest of society. Drawn 7. Our opponent's drawn as many lands as us in 26 cards as we've seen in 16. So, Shark Typhoon's really good. That has 2 applications here. You can cycle that for a bajillion, or you can... Oh, he's going to cycle it instead of trying to make a bunch of dudes. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's a 5/5. Discard Transmogrify. Okay. Uh, so I mean that puts them at 2, which means Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, I had a Bone Crusher Giant earlier. Oh yeah, so Bone Crusher Giant wins the game. Our last Lightning Strike wins the game. Pretty much any haste creature off the top wins the game here. So I mean, yeah, I mean there's like lots of. Well, it did win the game until he drew this card. God, I hate this card with every fiber of my being. She's gonna do that for 20 minutes and then go lay down somewhere else. Like I don't even understand. Makes no sense. Okay, well if that's the case, then I guess I can't really argue with that. But Omen of the Sea. Okay, we're starting with Omen of the Sea to see if we draw something better. I mean, we're like one good draw step here away from like winning this game. Yep. So I think we're just gonna go for it here. Glorybringer wins the game off the top, unless they have another Shark Typhoon in their hand. Only one Glorybringer left in the deck, but still, Glorybringer would be sweet. So this also wins the game in 2 turns unless they draw something, like unless they gain some life here. Ramunap Ruins wasn't a bad draw step. It does equal 4 points over 2 turns, so they're going to cycle a Shark Typhoon here, aren't they? Oh, no, they're going to scry. Oh, okay, good. Good. You scry away, big guy. You scry away. Puts 2 cards on bottom. I guess they could minus and get something pretty dumb here. Like if they Agent of Treachery away my Ramunap Ruins. So our opponent's giving themselves a chance. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me really respects the blocking here. Think I would have attacked with a Shark Typhoon before I would have attacked with the 1/1, but I had to look at my hand and draw a card. All right, you've seen my hand. Good job, opponent. Actually, I take that back. Glorybringer. Wow, they did not see the line. Oh, he missed it. The leaving the shark back was better because of Glorybringer. Okay. Chariot does nothing. Yes. Yes. You can have your tokens. Yes. Yes. That's only one spell this turn. Oh yeah. Cast those chariots away, big guy. Sack the Sunscorched Desert, put our opponent to 2. I mean, unless they have something in their hand to like gain them a bunch of life. Yep, sacrifice Ramunap Ruins to its own ability. Well, we're 2-1 with Desert Red here. And we're on the draw for this last game. Or not for our last game, our next to last game. So if our opponent had Lurrus or something here, I'd probably actually keep this in hopes that it's going to be good. But I think we got a mulligan this hand. I don't really feel like it does enough. I feel like this hand's a lot better. We can keep this and put the Lightning Strike on the bottom because Bonecrusher Giant interacts as removal. Our opponent's on a mulligan to 5, so I'm interested to see what they're playing here. Forest. Oath of Nissa, okay. Because Mono Green Planeswalkers. I won't lie, this doesn't feel like a great matchup for us. Takes Vivian, which means they're not hurting for lands. Soul Scar would be a good draw step here. Bomat's also a good draw step. Anyway, anything to like put on the board was good there. We have Stomp for next turn if we need it. Interesting. Our opponent says go on turn 2. I think that might be like one of the first times I've ever played against somebody who didn't have Burning Tree Emissary. Like, when I play in paper, like it's not that uncommon for people to not have Burning Tree Emissary, but like I don't know that I've actually ever played against somebody who didn't have Burning Tree Emissary like on Moto. Like that's a first. So we'll run out our cards have here and say go. J-Light Ranger. Hopefully our opponent ends up with like good. They got a 3-2, which means we can stomp it. Cast Stomp. We're going to always yield to Prowess. We get to get in for 4 here. Our opponent, like, I don't know what our opponent's turn 4 play could be here, but feels like we're at a pretty decent spot with 3 creatures on the board. Bonecrusher Giant and Exile are on an adventure, and then Chandra in the backup here. If Vivien is their play, I'm stoked about that. Yeah, okay, that sucks. 5-star Soulscar? Sure. So now we get to play... Oh, that's right, because it actually dealt non-combat damage. That's really good. Drawing Wild Slash would be good, or Stomp. So we're going to minus... We're going to attack for 4 here, put our opponent to 10. They have 4 cards in hand, and one of those cards is Vivien Arcbow Ranger, which doesn't really impact the board in any way if they play it, so we don't really care about it. Also, next turn, if they don't kill our Bomat Carrier is going to draw us like a ton of cards. Depending on what we draw, we might want to actually like not pop Bomat Carrier, but drawing a land here would be okay because we could play land, play Soulscar Mage, plus to make mana, play Bonecrusher Giant, Nissa, okay, which means they're going to kill our Chandra here, which we're okay with. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not great by any stretch, but like it's okay. I'm curious to see how they block here. Tapped and attacking. Oh, so I just get to... Can't block our Charizard, buddy. Like it's either the Hazard or the token. If you do, you take 6 and go to 4, so... I mean, take 6, go to 4, like... Make that a 5/5 right now. Go to 7. I still have that Vivian. I mean, you ate your creatures instead of mine, which I don't really understand, but okay. So a lamb would have been great there. It's just unfortunate because all the cards I want to discard are creatures. I didn't know, like, playing Skoos in the main is not something this deck commonly does. So, we're just going to say go. And then we'll discard to Hazaret before damage to be able to block. Yeah. Sure, eat our Planeswalker too, might as well. We get to make pretty good blocks here, and then we get to draw for a card. Like, our opponent mulliganed to 5 and we're still going to lose. That's how bad this matchup is for us. To get rid of that gun as a favorite, you have to set a new one as a favorite. Huh? You're welcome, baby. So we're going to draw 4 cards this way, and I know they get to go to 8 here, but we're going to try to draw 4 cards and see if we can do something to get into this game. I mean, Rekindling Phoenix is pretty good. God, there was all our lands. Jesus. Because I can just make that fight our Phoenix and then eat the bird before it gets to come back. Yeah, we weren't getting out of that one. Okay. Cards that seem good here include Collective Defiance, a Braid, G-Banger, Rekindling Phoenix. Alright, cards that seem bad. Include, but are not limited to. Hazoret. Does not seem good. Won't lie. Cut an Earthshaker, cut a couple Ferocidons. I'm not gonna lie, like Ferocidon seems very medium. They don't really gain life. Menace seems really good though. Maybe it's just shaving numbers. Yeah, I don't know. We'll try it like that. There's not a great, I don't really feel like there's great options here. I hate this matchup. I hate this deck. Like, mono green Planeswalkers is just stupid. Like, mono green Planeswalkers is stupider than the Jeskai deck. Like that, the Fires deck. I hate the Fires deck. Oh. Alright, opponent, sideboard so we can play. Jesus, you're playing mono green. It can't be that complicated. This hand's great. We'll keep this. I mean, great is all about opinion in this situation, but this hand is good. This hand requires a little bit another red source and a couple of good draw steps along the way. But with double Bomat Courier, I'm sure we'll be able to put more cards in our hand. What is that scope? I've never seen that scope before. What is that? Huh? So, normally I would kill the elf, but I think we're actually going to hold the lightning strike to be able to kill the creature that they play. I think it's more relevant here. Normally being able to cut them off ramp is like super important, but I think we'd rather be able to cut them off of their threats. So lightning strike next turn into hopefully Chandra. Jesus. Okay. That's an interesting card. We're going to use the Stomp here to kill this because it will kill it so that we can continue to get in for points here. Hopefully we draw a red source here. We've drawn another land, but it was a Sunscorched Desert, so we'd really like to draw a red source here to be able to play our Chandra next turn. Gonna be honest, I imagine there's at least a red source under the under some of the 5 cards that is our Bomat Couriers right now. Vivian, sure. Carly's not doing well at Call of Duty right now, I think. Can you make that noise again for me? Can you like repeat that noise for me? I mean, this feels like we're in a decent spot considering, well, we went first. I guess I didn't miss a land drop, but I mean, I don't know. Like, it's hard to say that you're in a good spot against this damn deck. Like, you could literally everything could be going your way, and then all of a sudden, like, the game's just over because like you just lost because mono green planeswalkers is that stupid. Burning Tree Emissary. That's gay. So basically, you have to do that and then play something else if they want to, which it appears they're going to. Yeah, man. I don't really understand your want to play Celestian Petitioner. Like, I don't. Like, I guess that's like how you beat up on Burn, but like the Burn matchup is already like 80-20 for you, so. I mean, honestly, like the play for us winning this game might be the ultimate Chandra. This feels like a Vorinclex. Vorinclex is so gay. Five, six, seven. So it's like literally not even enough to kill it. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're letting our Chandra die here. Like Vorinclex is so dumb. It's literally like they take the things that I hate about Magic and then they're like, you know what, it'd be better? What if we made those things better? Like, so I think you have to hold control to do it. All right. Okay. We've already played a land, so that is a lot of lands to draw. Clean up, we're going to discard a Sunscorched Desert. Wow. Comes into play with 10 counters on it. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Well, at least we get to kill that stupid ass thing in response. We have access to 7 mana next turn, which I really don't think helps us in any way. Wait. It ends up not getting counters because of Soulscar Mage. Wow, what a non-bow. Wow, that's so stupid. $10, $18. Wow. Alright, we're just conceding here. This is ridiculous. Better ask Joseph if he stopped watching. Did you hear me? Ask him if he did. No. Huh. Then it must have changed because you did that. It went from 3 to 2 when you did that. Alright, we're 2-2 in our... What? It just says 2. We're going to keep this. I'm not sure what our opponent's playing. No companion, but this hand's really good. Multiple. Ooh. Ooh. Mountain? This could be another red aggro deck. This could be... Is it Phoenix for the 3rd time this league? It's hard to tell what it is. Okay, so it's Is it Phoenix for the 3rd time this league? Whatever happened, it went up to 3. Oh. I have it on my laptop, which is my other account, but I don't have it. I don't watch myself from here. Maybe I should. Maybe that would help. I think the IP address does pull from it in some way. Like, I could be wrong, but I think it does. Whoa. Now I have 5 viewers. I don't know what happened. Either everybody made fake accounts really quick, or there are random people watching me. Alright, so we're playing again Is It Phoenix? This is match 5. We're 2-2. 2-2 mono red aggro pioneer, like desert red is basically what this deck is, and we're playing against Is It Phoenix for the 3rd time this league, so that's interesting. So we're gonna play Bomat Courier, and then we're gonna play Kari Zev, and we're gonna hope that they don't have Anger of the Gods. Every time we've played against somebody so far, they've had Anger of the Gods, but we're gonna hope that they don't tonight, or this round, I mean. Play this, they go. I think this is probably like the most like rares slash mythics I've ever played in a mono red deck. Like almost every card in our deck is a rare or a mythic. The only cards that aren't are Wild Slash and Lightning Strike, I'm pretty sure. Not gonna lie, our opponent must have something to do here because I figured that their play would have been to kill something. Maybe they really just wanted to get Arclight Phoenix in the yard. That or it's indicating that they do have Anger of the Gods here, which is quick as they're tapping for 3 mana. So our opponents have had Anger of the Gods, like, there's one in their deck. One! So that's a pretty good draw step. Like, game 2, if you draw, like, a second one or something, I'm kind of like, okay, like, sure. Like, I can get down with that. But, like, game 1, our opponents have had it, like, on curve, like, every game. Third time we played... Who plays that main deck? That's actually, like, a thing that, like, Izzet Phoenix has been going to. They've been playing, like, a one of Anger of the Gods main deck. They've also went away from the Thing in the Ice package, and they've started playing 4 Crackling Drakes in the main. So, that's just something that I've noticed that, like, people have been going back to. So, man, it doesn't seem bad. It's just weird that our opponents have had it every time tonight. So, our opponent puts a card on the bottom. Okay. Strategic planning. I imagine they're probably going to flip. They're probably going to put their Arclight Phoenix into play here. Hopefully they don't have a second one here to put into play. That'd be bad. We would lose our Chandra. Oh god. Yep, and we're gonna lose our Chandra. Man, they found one off that strategic planning. That really sucks. They only have 3 cards in hand, so I think we're just gonna use our spells to kill their birds here and hope that they can't put stuff back into play. Our opponent having Anger on curve was pretty bad for us. We're actually going to kill it now so that they can't chart a course. Or that way, this way, if they do want to cast chart a course, they don't get to hit us with raid and get to just draw 2 cards. I showed up right on time. Yeah, man. I was like, yeah, if you're here for the Izzet Phoenix matchup, then you definitely showed up on time. So our opponent's playing main deck Anger and Thing in the Ice? Oh my god, what is our opponent doing? Well, Hazaret would be good. Chandra would be good. Rekindling Phoenix would be great. Like, there are a lot of really good draw steps here. Brandon, you've missed it tonight, man. This is the third time in my league that I've played against Izzet Phoenix. I did say Hazaret would be a good draw. Opponent drunk confirmed. The good news is that even if they do manage to flip their Thing in the Ice here, Hazaret pretty much just blocks Thing in the Ice indefinitely. The only thing they can really do is like petty theft it back to our hand. So if that's the case, they hit us for 7, we go to 11. They petty theft, we 7 to 4. And then I guess they could finish us off with Wild Slashes and Spike Field Hazards from there, but Crackling Drake would also be good if that's what he's playing right here. Wow. All right. That's 7, 10, 13, 15. So if they attack with everything here, Wild Slash is 17. 7, 10, 13, 16. Oh no, it's 18. I miscounted. Oh well. I won't lie, I've been avoiding Pioneer because that seems to be all I ever see anyone playing. And I love some birds, but they aren't where I want to be at in this format. I mean, like, the deck's really cool. When I played it the other night, I won't lie, I really enjoyed it, but I mean, it does seem like a little. It's just not what it was in Modern, that's for sure. So, Hazarets aren't great in this matchup, I won't lie. Cut Wild Slashes, cut 2 Wild Slashes, cut 2 Ferocodons to try and help us kill early. And just bring in the big removals and the big hitters. So this is the same way that we've sideboarded all night, and we're 1-1 against the deck. So I'm curious to see if this is how we exactly way less explosiveness. Yeah, like honestly though, like there's not really any like there's nothing like it's not like the deck's not explosive. Like you can't really put Phoenixes into play until like the earliest you can put them into play is to turn 3, and even then like it's super hard because you're wanting to do other things, like it's really hard to like be consistent. Yeah, we'll go first. We'll keep this hand. Could be better, but this hand's not bad. Ooh. Play mountains they go. We would have liked to have had a 1-drop there, but Fabled Passage go. Okay. Rekindling Phoenix is a good pickup. We're just going to run out our Earthshaker Kender and attack here. Depending on what we draw, we'll probably just play our Bonecrusher Giant next turn. Also, people play more bad spot removal in this format, like Lightning Strike, Shock, Wild Slash. All good here, but Modern didn't have that much early removal besides Path, which rewarded you. Yeah, I mean that's like like this format is full of like 1 and 2 mana interaction spells. Like it's so yeah, no, I get it. Like the big things that you really had to worry about were like Path and like push occasionally, and like push against like black decks. And like Bolt you just didn't care about because it didn't really matter. So I'm gonna attack here and see what they do. And if they block, I'm gonna stomp this thing like very quickly. Okay, them doing that means we're just gonna play our Bonecrusher Giant. They have no way of flipping Thing in the Ice, so I'm not really worried about losing our board to something like that. We'd really like to draw a land here. Being able to Lightning Strike the Thing in the Ice twice would be really good here. Puts 1 card on top of their library. Okay. Considering they led with Opt, means they're probably looking for a land, if I had to guess. So, all right, land, please. So land is good. The only thing I really worry about here is them having Izzet Charm. So we're gonna attack for 6. Thing is also much less powerful here. Oh yeah, I mean like Thing in the Ice like on turn 2 like does not frighten me nearly as much as it did in Modern. Like Thing in the Ice in turn 2, you had to respect the fact that like you could flip that on turn 3, and like you just can't in this format. So like there's nothing that really like that I'm really like trying to play around or anything, if I'm being honest. So I know that they've been playing Spell Pierce out of the sideboard, but I think we're still going to go for the bounce here. They take 4 and go to 12. We're really just going to hope that they don't have the Spell Pierce here. There was a lot of hesitation there, so I think they do, but we're gonna go for it anyway. All right. Well, that worked out better than I thought it was going to. We'd really like to see them play an Anger of the Gods before we played our Rekindling Phoenix. Chart a course, okay. You were probably getting hit for 10 to 13 in Modern on turn 3 and leaving 3 boys in play. Oh yeah, like absolutely. Like that was like the big fear, is that like not only was I getting hit with a thing in the ice on turn 3 and you were putting all my cards back into my hand, but you were also hitting with like a bird or two. Like yeah, that was always like the big pull to the like it was I don't know, it was just different. Like you had instant speed cantrips and like that were just so much better and they cost less mana. Like it was just a different deck. Like I completely agree with you. We're gonna put Rekindling Phoenix into play, even though it plays right into an Anger. Um, we're gonna put it into play because it is lethal. So we are walking into an Anger here, but we also have 2 cards left over in our hand that aren't bad. They're quickly tapping for things, which does not bode well for me, I feel like. Yep. Dude, I can't catch a break when it comes to sweepers tonight. I just keep losing to people who have Anger of the Gods, Supreme Verdict, like anything they can get their hands on. So we're going to play this, and then if they go for a Wild Slash, we'll Wild Slash them in response, or a Magma Spray or anything really. Imagine how bad On Thin Ice would be against birds, though. Oh man, that would be really bad, actually. On Thin Ice would actually be pretty cool. That's the... We're going to go for this now. That's the Chain to the Rocks, right? Like that's like the Chain to the Rocks, but for snowlands on thin ice. Yep, Yield the Prowess. Okay. Yep, they go to 6. Opt, okay. 1 card on the bottom. They're going to put an Arclight Phoenix into play. We're just going to go ahead and kill this and play live off the top here. Yes, some people are playing it over Path a lot now because it's good against Prowess, but imagine something like Birds would be much worse than Path. Still calling my shot on Modern Horizons 2 for Careful Study. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they put Careful Study. Oh, you'd strike him? Really? All right, I'm down to know why you'd strike our opponent there as opposed to striking the bird. Like I know we're at 20, but we've already played 2 other lightning strikes, a Bone Crusher Giant and a Wild Slash. Heo? Didn't see the grave. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, might as well just let that happen. Yeah, no, you're good, man. Yeah, I mean, if we had only if that was our first lightning strike, I'd have definitely went upstairs with the lightning strike. I'd have said, okay, I'm at 20. I'm gonna take a chance that I can race that. And honestly, it might have been somewhat correct to have just held the lightning strike anyway and not done anything. Doesn't really change anything, I guess. So our opponent just says go. Another Bomat Courier, so we're just going to keep running our stuff out here and hope we get there. Probably have another removal spell. Alright. My only thought for striking him would be because he had 4 in hand, so I still think it's a thought. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like that's definitely... Yeah, I mean, that's true. He does, like, it's not a huge stretch for him to get the bird back. I mean, granted, it's worked out for us that he hasn't got his bird back, but it's not a huge stretch. Rekindling Phoenix, Chandra. Oh, man. Well, we'll probably just... I think we've committed to the killing the Phoenix's role. So I think we're just gonna like at the beginning of combat wild slash the Arclight Phoenix. Basically, the desert that deals 1 would be also lethal. Yeah, that's true. The desert would have been lethal with that line. Basically saying there is a very real chance he gets it back and you still have Hasty Boys you can draw. Now it's defense mode. Yeah, we've committed to this line. Interesting. So I'm actually willing to go to 14 here to wild slash his blocker in case we draw like something that has haste here. Because I still don't think we're trying to go upstairs. That's pretty good. Deal 4 to target creature, 3 to target opponent. So if we had went upstairs with the lightning strike, worried about Hazoret a bit. Yeah, I think our opponent is worried about like Hazoret or like some kind of like quick haste creature off the top. Oh, I like this card. Oh, dude, I love Collective Defiance. Collective Defiance is like one of my favorite cards ever, honestly. But yeah, like he's definitely playing around like Hazoret, and like honestly, I get it, and I'm glad that he's like kind of respecting it. And there's a good chance he just gets back all 3 of his birds right here and punches us in the face. If he's discarding a land, it means he picked one up somewhere, or he just has 1 mana spells to do it with. Puts 1 card on the bottom. If he is able to put his birds into play, it basically gives us 1 turn, which he is. He's going to put 3 of them into play. And then we're looking at Lightning Strike or Collective Defiance here. Trying to think of another card that gets us out of this situation. Glorybringer doesn't do it. So now that he's just attacking like this and we're going to go to 8. So Earthshaker Kenra doesn't do it, but it either forces him to have a removal spell or block here. A lot of outs. That's not one of them. Yeah, I mean, we did have a lot of outs there. I think if our opponent doesn't have a removal spell, which isn't that far-fetched, he's played like 6 of them so far, he's forced to block here, and then if he can't buy his bird back, actually, I'm retarded. He can actually just not block. He can just go to 1 here because he knows we have no cards in hand. If our opponent doesn't block, we'll concede. All right. Yep. Big sad. Well, we finished 2-3 with the deck. Not gonna lie, for something that we just kind of threw together, like just kind of threw this together today at the last minute to have something to like goof off with tonight. Um, Deck felt really good. It's like a combination of like a lot of the standard decks that I've played over the years, so it felt really cool. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what changes I would make. It felt like we just needed to like just draw better, honestly, in a lot of spots. So, but yeah, I mean, deck was cool. I like it. Maybe the Soul Guy Lanterns could be something else on the side. I don't know what. Like maybe we could play like some number of Aethersphere Harvesters to try and help. Not sure. The deck was really cool. Um, so that's actually it for tonight's stream. We played some Rocket League and some Magic tonight. And that was like a 2-hour league. Or perhaps change the mana base, Faceless Haven, or Mutavaults. I would be down for that. I would honestly be down for like I guess we could cut Sunscorched Deserts and play Mutavaults. I would be down for something like that. That actually sounds pretty cool. I feel like Mutavault could be like a real add to this deck, actually. Maybe that's something we can try another time. So, there's actually a Pioneer tournament this weekend. And tomorrow is the last day of the week that I'm streaming. So tomorrow we're playing Rakdos, Pyromancer, Arcanist this weekend at the tournament. So we're gonna stream that tomorrow night. In Pioneer, kind of get some games in. So if that's the kind of thing you're into, come and hang out tomorrow. We'll be playing that. We're gonna find